Hi friends, it's me. Um, so for starters, I'm sure you'll probably hear this in the background. Yeah. Um, Waiting for them to come fix it. Hopefully they will, because with everything going on, they are only fixing emergency issues in apartments at my apartment complex, and I don't know if your fire alarm beeping incessantly constitutes an emergency. Like, I know it's the battery, but I don't know if they'll just be like, deal with it. um, Also, I took a hiatus. I'm sure everyone's aware because it's been a minute since I posted a video. And honestly, I just wasn't doing well. Um, it's really easy to talk about the hard times and the things I'm doing to work through it when it's like kind of only a little bad. But when things are really bad, it's kind of hard to see that like silver lining or even want to share that with people. Um, I have so many started videos in my little album thing because I kept trying to make videos and hating them or not really being able to talk about anything for any relevant amount of time. Like I recorded one video and I was like, yes, that'll be good to post. And it was a minute and a half. So I was struggling. But I am feeling a little better now. And also, because of the coronavirus, I really don't have anything else to do. So I figured I would get back to these. That being said, I am going to change to just posting once a month. Partially because I'm in school and every week and even every other week was a little too daunting. And also because I need to make sure that I'm actually taking the time to work on myself and actually doing the things that help me to feel better and also be better. So, yeah. Hopefully, once a month actually works out, and if not, I'll post these videos when I post these videos because honestly, I don't really think anyone's that pressed. Although, to the person, or actually to the people that reached out and asked about when the next video would be coming, I do appreciate your messages. They were very sweet and unexpected, and it was both validating and shocking to realize that what I set out to do in terms of impacting people was actually happening. So thank you for those. Um, Today, I want to talk about something that's poignant, at least for me, with the coronavirus, social distancing, and self isolation and potential quarantines that are going on. And that's self care. um, Self care, I feel like, is this really broad term that it encompasses a lot. Sometimes people will suggest different things for self care, from buying coloring books and taking baths with bath bombs all the way up to like therapy as a form of self care. Some of the things, like for instance, like taking a bath and coloring, which don't get me wrong, I take a bath like once every 2 weeks, if not every week. And I own a lot of coloring books for an adult. Um, but for me, those are short term things. Those are like, oh, I just had like a rough day, or I just really want to clear my head type self care kind of band aids to me. Whereas therapy is like the self care that's like so there to sustain me and try and help me to move forward. Um, and one of the main things that my therapist helped me set in place for myself in order to like continue to do well even in between therapy sessions was a routine. And I don't know if this is happening for anyone else, but having to be in my house as much as possible is completely and utterly throwing off my routine. And for a little bit, I allowed that to let me kind of devolve into a bad headspace. If you don't get your head back in the house, Marley, too far. Your head was out too far. See, you falling. Your head was out too far. But sorry, I just lost your mind? I lost my train of thought. My routine has just been completely and utterly thrown off because of the fact that I'm not getting up and getting ready to go to the gym and then going to school and then having classes where I'm actually on campus and going to my job that's on campus. I am sitting around my house and maybe running a quick errand or finding somewhere to be alone outside because that's what we're supposed to be doing. And I also personally am immunocompromised, so I would really love to not catch this virus in any way, shape, or form, even if it would be a mild case, because it's not likely that it would be. Yeah, and so with the coronavirus going on, I had to come up with a new routine because just laying in bed until it was time to log on for class and then getting back in bed until my next class was not doing anything for my mental health in any way, shape, or form. So I sat down after the first week of just wallowing in self-pity and I came up with a routine. And that has really helped me, I feel like, to kind of raise my way out of my rut. And even if I don't follow it to a T, because I feel like that's something that I used to struggle with, was I was like, well, when I come up with a routine and I don't follow it in one day, then I just scrap it entirely, when really I just need to try again the next day. But just even having a list of things that I know that I'm trying to do with my day and kind of like a general schedule kind of helps me feel like we're doing something and like I'm going somewhere and something's going on with my day and I'm not just like laying in bed watching Futurama all day. So for me, in my routines, I always make sure that I schedule a wake up time that's pretty consistent, because that's really helpful for me in terms of staying on a schedule and also like feeling balanced, because then I know at night, okay, if I don't go to bed by this time, I'm going to be tired, so let me go ahead and get ready for bed, and I don't just kind of feel like I'm flying in the wind with whenever I fall asleep and wake up. I try to always keep some form of exercise in my routine. I used to really, really focus on exercising strictly for losing weight, and I hated it when I did it for that. And it was probably about my senior year of college where I started exercising with the intent of I just want the endorphins. Like, I actually can enjoy working out and it can be fun. So I usually would try to go to the gym every day, because it just helped me to feel better and helped me to feel like I was accomplishing something with my day that was like good for me and good for my body. With the quarantine, my gym and also my apartment gym are closed. So I have been going for 30-minute walks in the morning, just waking up and honestly tossing on whatever, because I'm walking around my apartment complex. I don't care what I look like around these people. And I just hustle walk around for a little bit and just kind of get the blood flowing. And for me, it's also kind of therapeutic, because usually I'll play music or a podcast, but then oftentimes I'll just kind of like let my mind wander, and it kind of, you work through some things when you're not obsessing over them, shockingly. For me, I'm in school, so I do have online classes, which personally I'm not a huge fan of. I'm really struggling with the staying focused part of things, but I'm working on it. So I actually, in my routine, have scheduled in both my classes and study time so that I can kind of know when I'm supposed to be doing something, because a lot of times, like if I don't schedule time to study, for instance, I'll feel like I always should be studying, and so then I'll always be stressed and I'm more likely to procrastinate. And the final thing that I always do in my routine is I schedule meals. For me, I have a tendency to not eat or to forget to eat, and that's just really unhealthy. And also, it's really hard for your body to like feel good when it has no fuel to run on. So I make a point to schedule breakfast, lunch, and dinner into my routine. Even if I don't eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because sometimes I'm just legitimately not hungry. But just even being like, oh, it's 12 o'clock, have you eaten today? Go ahead and like make a sandwich or make a meal or something like that, is helpful for me. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been putting around my house thinking about. I've made a few TikToks because today's my birthday and I turned 26 and I don't want to accept that I'm an adult. So I learned the Savage Dance and it's pretty good. But yeah, so has anyone else come up with a routine or anything? If you have, I would love to hear what's working for you. Yeah, hope everyone's doing well. And the quote of the day is, "Let us consider the way in which we spend our lives." Henry David Thoreau.